It is Teddy Atlas. We're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Keep watching. Everybody.
Subscribe to Dante's Boxing Nation if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed yet.
All day.
If you haven't, then you're definitely doing things incorrectly.
Okay.
So definitely show love to
Preach.
my boy Dante.
Preach.
And yeah, man, I'm out. I gotta go do daddy daycare now, man. So
Hey.
I appreciate everybody. God bless. And
God
until
bless.
next time, brother.
Absolutely, man. All right, bro. I'll catch up with you on the next one. All right, fam?
All right, man. God bless. Later.
All right, man. That was my man, Jonathan, man. So now let's go ahead and real quick, Milton. We're gonna try to keep you in the studio for as long as we can, man.
Gotcha.
But I want to talk about this this news with Golovkin, AK and Kirk. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and throw y'all a curveball. Kirk, man, let me ask you, man, if I told you that Teddy Atlas was talking about Golovkin, and someone asked him where do you rate or where do you rank Golovkin in the top 10 pound for pound list, what do you think he said?
I actually heard that he does not have him ranked in the top 10 at all.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I agree.
I mean, and see, this is my whole thing, Kirk, and this is my whole thing. Now, you notice, ain't nobody calling Teddy Atlas racist. Ain't nobody calling him a punk ass, this and that and all that kind of stuff. You mean, boy, we got to get that hope insurance, man. I'm telling you. That shit cover everything, Milton. I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you. Hey, but Kurt, do you recall me last week almost saying the
Yeah, you
exact
touched
same
on it.
thing on Monday? I touched on that.
Yeah.
That I thought he was a tremendous middleweight, but he wasn't necessarily a pound for pound type fighter.
Yeah, you did say that, and that's because you can actually, let's just say, even if you like the fighter,
I'm going to be
I
honest.
think you like Golovkin.
I do.
Oh, and
I
that,
do.
Milton is a huge Golovkin fan.
I am.
And that just goes to show you. Go ahead, Kirk.
Yeah, you're keeping it real. Like, there's certain fighters I
Gotta
like,
keep it
but
real.
if they're not, what they're advertised, you got to keep it real and be responsible and say what's the truth.
You know, sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes that get me in trouble with my people too. Black folks think that if I say something critical of a black fighter, that I don't like black fighters, which is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
But
You
I'm
get
just
it from
going to tell
You
it
get it from every direction, man.
from every direction. But I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Especially I know the people. They look at it from the fan point of view. I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily a fan. I'm a fan of boxing more so than I am one particular fighter. And if I'm giving it to you, I'm going to give it to you straight. And if it's a fighter that I like, I'm going to give a critique or an assessment that sometimes might not always be what they want to hear either. But I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be, man. The whole truth. Like I said, man, you have to be able to separate emotions from logic.
Right.
If you can't do that, you in the wrong business to talk in the boxing game.
Right.
I mean, it's like, once again, I have so many examples, but for example, when Golovkin fought against Curtis Stevens, I'm rooting for Curtis Stevens.
I was
you know
too. I ain't gonna lie.
He American. He looked like me,
Right.
and grew up listening to the same music I listen to. I'm rooting for him, for my
Right.
own countrymen, right? But when I did my video, my breakdown prediction video, who did I lean towards? I leaned towards Golovkin, and the video is still up.
Right.
I picked Golovkin to win the fight, even though I was rooting for my own countrymen.
Right.
But I was able to separate personal feelings
And you got to be able to do that.
from talking boxing, without being biased. And that's what the majority of people cannot do. The majority of decafs. It takes a nation of 1 million decafs to hold me back. You see the goddamn shirt. You feel me? You see the damn shirt. We not playing with him. Yeah, man. But Teddy, go ahead, Kirk.
No, that was me.
Oh, go ahead, AK. Go ahead, AK.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think you're picking Golovkin versus Daniel Jacob, and Jacob, you can't find a better story, than that. Like he beat cancer, and he's a good guy. He's a family person, and this and that, and then and you still put your bias aside, and go based on the, like what you think is who's gonna win the fight based on the whole truth. Now, and speaking of Golovkin not being on the top 10 pound for pound, I won't mind if you have him like number 10 or 9, but you definitely can't have him on the top.
I agree with you.
I've heard a lot of people say that too. Yeah,
you could put him. You could put him at the bottom. You could put him in the bottom 10. I totally agree with that because I didn't really speak on. I didn't give my thoughts on that. I would put him somewhere in the bottom 10. Maybe like you said, around 8, somewhere like that. Because he, no doubt about it, he is the best middleweight in the world right now. There's no doubt. And this is not, Milton, this is not really a knock on Golovkin. It's just the fact that we haven't seen him in there.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
We haven't 100%. Seen him in there with the Thurman, like a Thurman Garcia fight, like a Mayweather Corrales fight, a Mayweather Pacquiao fight. We haven't seen him in there with that type of competition
But I will
yet.
say this. Roy Jones had that knock on him for a long time. Yeah. It was like, hey, man, it's the era is what it is what it is.
But Roy did fight Bernard Hopkins in his prime,
he
though,
did,
to win the title.
He did.
And that was a hell of a win.
But out of all those fights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he had to beat who was there. It was nobody there but Gerald McClellan. That's the only fight I would say he didn't get.
After he beat Tony? Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. After he beat Tony, he fought Tony, he fought Roy, he fought Bernard Hopkins. But after he beat them, he kind of took a little bit of a vacation for a minute, but then he got right back in the competition and he started fighting the top guys. But once again, when you look at the contrast, Golovkin he's never faced a Bernard Hopkins. He's never faced a James Toney
this is true.
In his prime. Go ahead, AK.
Yeah, I mean, man, please don't compare Golovkin to Roy Jones.
No. I'm not comparing him. I'm not Hold on, AK. Hold on. Easy, man. I'm not comparing. Never would compare those two. You started something,
Milt.
No, Roy Jones, man, is one of my favorite fighters of all time, bro. No, I'm not comparing him to Roy Jones. I'm comparing the eras. Because even though Roy was fighting top competition, he was blowing through it so easily that it didn't look like it was top comp. And so, I mean...
But as far as this era, like, Golovkin had the chance to fight Andre Ward, the number 2 guy in his at that time, and he turned it down. I mean, Roy Jones will never turn down to fight the second pound-for-pound fighter, in his weight class or near his weight classes. And you got to keep in mind, Golovkin is 34 years old. And when Roy Jones was 34 years old, look who he beat, like, by that time, and his resume and how he beat his opponents. And as far as, like, Golovkin, it's just the fact he can't be on the top 5 because of the fact that his height don't match his resume. When at this point in his career, when you got the best person on your resume is Kell Brook, I can't say you're on the top 5 when the best guy you beat was a welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing about Golovkin. But in the near future, if he does win and then he beats Jacob and he fights Canelo, because even the money fights, he's turning it down, even though he's gonna get $15 million for that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're gonna make that happen. I think they're gonna make it happen.
Well,
I know that it might happen soon, but at the end of the day, I'm saying, like, for now, it's kind of like it seems iffy because you kept calling the guy forever, and when they made a real good offer, you still kind of you turned it down. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about Golovkin that I don't understand. He could fight Lara. There's big fights for him and challenging fights, and that will look good on his resume. It's not like Rigondeaux situation or Errol Spence where they can't find nobody. Like Rigondeaux, his own mandatories are turning him down, and he's a champion.
Yeah,
and he's the number 1 guy, 122, and still his own mandatories are turning him down, who have nothing to lose.
But hold on, AK. Yeah, let me. But we're gonna go ahead and let my man Milton go. Milton, he got to get out the studio, right? That's the situation. And I wanted to elaborate a little bit on, because I didn't really touch on it enough, of what Teddy Atlas said about Gennady Golovkin. Teddy Atlas said that Golovkin is as physically strong and tough as anyone on the list, but I also believe there are others with better technique. I also believe he may be slipping. I understand he might have been sick when he looked very ordinary at times against Kell Brook, but sick or not, his technical flaws were evident. Also, his level of competition has been questionable or at least very advantageous for him. So this is what Teddy Atlas said about Gennady Golovkin. AK, I don't know if you was on the phone when we were talking about this, but yeah, Teddy Atlas, you know what he said about Golovkin when it comes to where he rates him. Oh yeah, that's right. You were the one that said that you see Golovkin at the bottom 10. But I just wanted to quote exactly what Teddy Atlas said, so that's what he said. And once again, I want fans at home, decafs, to understand something. For all you guys trying to really play the race card and trying to make it seem like it's just these black bastards that keep saying these things because they don't like Golovkin, et cetera, you know, eventually you're going to have to come to a reality check and start asking yourself, why are people like Teddy Atlas, Matt Korobov, Ruslan Provatnikov, Sergey Kovalev, Paulie Malignaggi, why are all of these guys saying the same thing and none of them are black? Not only are they not black, but the majority of them are from Europe, okay? So you guys have to ask yourself this question. Why are all of these professional boxers that do this for a living, why are they all asking the exact same question? And maybe, not maybe, it's because it's true. But see, deep down, the boxing fans, they know that, you know, these things are true. They just feel, hey man, if you riding with us, you don't tell nobody the truth about that. Because if if you're a fan of Golovkin, et cetera, and that's once again, you know, going back to that emotional talk, you know, you basically, if you down with my gang, you down with my gang regardless what type of dirt we do. I don't care if we shooting up, you know, kids at parks and all that kind of stuff. If we just killing, if we just doing whatever, you ride with us. You don't say nothing negative about what we do. And this is the type of mentality that decafs have. You know, they know that the shit that we say makes sense. They know that the stuff that me, Kirk Jackson, Arab King, Teddy Atlas, and everyone else, they know it logically makes sense, but they just don't want to hear it because it does not fit their narrative. And that's what it comes down to. So with that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We are definitely out of time. I want to say thanks once again to the crew, the panel, my man Kirk Jackson. Go ahead and check out his articles on BoxingInsider.com. Go ahead and subscribe to Arab King, man, if you haven't already done it. He always speaking the truth, giving you more of that logic. And shouts out to my special guest, man, the undefeated light heavyweight prospect, Anthony Yard. Y'all gonna be hearing a lot about him. He's like the Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones in the UK, you know, not trying to put too much pressure on him, but that's his style. Shout out to my man Jonathan Martinez, who works with, he's kind of like somewhat of a manager, you know, representing Team Anthony Yard. All right, y'all. So we going to go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will be doing this show on Mondays, all right, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. You want to call in, go ahead and call in. You know, you want to get your decaf thoughts, you know, out, go ahead and do that as well. All right, but that's pretty much all we got, guys. We'll see you guys next week. It's the nation, baby.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.